Welcome back to Doom Eternal. We just punched a hole into the surface of Mars. And are now going down to actually, get to the hole because it leads to the place we need to go.
Half of Mars is gone?
Well, not even half of Mars. There's just a big hole in it.
Mars is considerably larger than the moon, Ted, I'm just gonna say. If half of Mars was gone, the whole planet would probably spin off out of its orbit and fly into the sun.
Hey, that'd be kind of cool.
In fact, that was half the plot of Ratchet and Clank, so, hey.
God damn it!
Well,
we should probably get to those games at some point on this channel.
Oh yeah,
I do really need to play them.
I'll record the first one for us at some point fairly soon, but I need to get my hands on the HD collection again because I traded in my physical copy of it last year.
Hooray! We got the last rune of the game, even though I've had my loadout that I like for the last 8 missions.
That's always how it goes. I never change up my runes.
Yeah, we don't have a teleporter to go to the surface of Mars because it kind of got blowed up, so what's the best way to do? Just fire ourselves to the hole in Mars.
God, I fucking
God,
love it.
You can't shoot yourself as a bullet.
Watch me, Sam!
I love it so much. It's so stupid.
This is like being shot out of a torpedo in Metal Gear Solid, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean,
Someone play the ending song from, what's the, Doctor Strangelove?
yeah. And he's okay.
Hello. I know my biceps are exposed, but they're clean as fuck.
Oh, so is this all one level?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And is this the space station from the first Doom?
No, not quite. We started on a UAC based on Phobos, which is one of Mars's moons.
Okay.
That would have been a cool callback if it was the same. But I don't think it is.
He gets PTSD flashbacks of finding his dead rabbit.
No.
Alright.
But yeah, so this was a base that was on the surface of Mars, but it's been jettisoned up into the atmosphere.
Because we blew it up.
I have a question. Are there portable, USB floppy disk drives for modern PCs to play old
actually.
games on? Oh, okay.
Yes, you can do that.
Excellent.
With the right adapters, you can connect them to modern phones and shit.
And there are cassette to USB converters now for your car and shit.
Your device will just read it as if it reads a USB, or detect it as if it were a USB. So
yeah, it just sees it as files, effectively.
Yeah.
Alright, I was just wondering if they made those because it seems like a thing worth having because DOS games are the easiest goddamn things on PC to emulate. So,
yeah, even the port of Doom, Heretic, all those that you can find on Steam, just emulate it through DOSBox.
Oh yeah, a lot of GOG games just come packed in with their own pre-configured DOSBox things. It does.
That is not how you're supposed to get that, Ryan. I'm kind of impressed.
It does.
Well, I did it, so.
It does. It does kind of mean though that if you're buying GOG games, you've got 10 million installations of DOSBox on your computer. When you could technically.
It took me way too long to realize you were saying GOG as in GOG. I thought you were saying God. I'm like, what the fuck is a God game?
Stuff like Civilization or Spore or The Sims.
Katamari Damacy.
I mean, technically, DOSBox is just an emulator, so you really only need one copy of it to run every DOS game that you could ever buy. But since they all come packed in with DOSBox, you've basically got a standalone DOSBox installation for every single one of the games. And that's, it's a little bit inefficient. Let's see.
Just doing an optional challenge.
Yep.
Easy. This level has 2 really easy optional challenges. It's kind of weird.
Forgetting the other one, and you already did it.
Maybe
it was just the one. It was just the one in the hall, and it was a bunch of imps, and it was one shadow, and that was it.
It's like an imp, a revenant, and a specter, and that's basically it.
I like how this whole station is tilted a bit to the side.
Oh, getting Battlefield Earth up in here.
I love it when like when you strafe left and right and it rolls and it makes you motion sick.
Ooh.
I love Half-Life.
Is that a thing in Half-Life?
Yeah, you can turn it off, but yeah. Like it'll roll the camera like 10 degrees to the left or right.
Yeah, unfortunately, motion sickness is a real problem that some people have with first-person games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of I believe it was a DOS game called Descent?
I've heard the name. I don't know much about it.
So it's infamous for giving people motion sickness because it's a first person like shmup game.
Yeah, I've seen.
But
I've seen advertisements for this
go
in
ahead.
like Baldur's Gate and stuff. I know what you're talking about. Oh, jeez.
The reason it gave people motion sickness is because the axes aren't locked. So if you move your mouse up to keep aiming up, eventually you'll roll over and look behind you. And then you can rotate left and right, and
That seems
it's
like a
one
bad
of-
oversight.
yeah. Oh no, it was intentional.
Yeah, that's what the game was designed and advertised as looking like. It's like
It's one of the 2 games to give me motion sickness. That and the original Prey.
Ooh, the original Prey.
Yeah, I just beat it last night actually.
Oh, did you? Interesting. What did you get motion sickness from that one from?
It has these gravity puzzles where like I guess the closest thing I could compare it to is kind of like the spider ball tracks for Metroid Prime.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But as you walk up them, the camera turns and looks up, but you could still look around while on that. And then it makes you fight enemies while on it, and it's so you're walking all over the walls and on these surfaces, and then you look around, it's just ugh.
Yeah, Prey did some interesting things with powers and stuff.
It was a really good game, but oh my god.
The only thing I really know about it, I've never had motion sickness in my life, but the only thing I really know about it is that sometimes adjusting the field of view can help with that. Does Prey have an FOV slider at all? It's an older game, so it might not.
It ran on id Tech 4, so I'd imagine that it does, but it only goes so high. You could probably change it with console commands, I just didn't bother.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, looked like you kind of were about to fall off the stage there.
Yep.
Thankfully, this game has, like... Or it handles it kind of like how Zelda handles pits, where it'll just teleport you up and take a bit of life away. Oh, there... Oh, never mind.
I didn't fall off there, so... Although I'm about to lose a life. Nope.
Fighting over bottomless pits in first person is the pits, really.
Yes.
It's it's not all that fun in any context.
Oh my god, Baron, just get staggered already. Fine, going after it.
The true
Never mind,
final boss.
I got stuck on the little ledge there. That
There
Baron
you
took a
go.
lot of ammo.
Yeah, they're more bullet spongy than they were in 2016, I'm pretty sure.
It feels like it.
Yeah, that was a bit obnoxious.
Weapon point acquired.
Oh boy.
That feels like a moment where someone turns to another character and says, ironically, they have a cave troll.
And Pain Elemental. Hello. That's such a stupid name.
Hello, not.
Yeah, it's like when is pain an element?
Hello, not beholder. How are you doing today? No, we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. Stop asking.
I brought my
Wizards of the Coast will
D20s and everything.
Wizards of the Coast is gonna sue you for using that name.
No.
I'm sorry, dragons and dungeons. Now we're good.
Dungeons, dungeons, and more dungeons.
I didn't know we were playing Pikmin 2. But
Labyrinthian enclosements and large-scale lizards that breathe fire.
And speaking of RPGs, I can't wait until Cyberpunk comes out, but I probably won't be able to get it when it does. But I can't wait until Cyberpunk comes out because, goddamn,
It
You'll
looks.
have
That's
Keanu
still
Reeves
coming
that
out
much, huh?
this year, or
Yes.
did they
Oh,
push it
yeah.
back? Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Well, it's supposed to.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out soon. The one that was pushed back was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That one got pushed back.
Wait, they're making a second one?
Yeah. You didn't know?
Whoa. No, I
Oh.
only recently heard about the first one.
Oh, really?
Boxy boxes.
Well, that one was announced a while ago, yeah. I'm looking forward
Whoops.
to it. There's a few things about it that look like they might not be on par with what the original game's strengths were, but on the other hand, you know, if it's even half as good at that stuff as the original was and is a stable game, that automatically makes it the best thing in the universe. So, yeah. On the other hand,
Hell yeah, super shotgun time.
I'm getting a little tired of these new Western RPGs being released and being all like, no, we're not going to implement a third-person camera, even though all these other games that we're basing them on have implemented the third-person camera. Because, like, I hate first-person.
Wait, does Cyberpunk have a third-person camera?
I don't think so, but it might. It might, because you know it's CD Projekt Red, so they might just already have a third-person system in place for it from The Witcher 3. I haven't actually looked into whether or not it has.
It's also on PC, so someone will make a mod for it eventually.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't.
I mean,
just,
they've already.
You can't just mod in third person, you know.
I mean, they've done it for this game.
Watch me, Dad.
Well, it really depends on how they handle the first person. I'm pretty sure Doom it was able to do that because there is an actual model for Doom guy running around.
Yeah.
So you can just.
Well, sort of. He's mostly arms.
Oh yeah,
that's a
no,
lot of that's a lot of games, if I remember correctly. They're just like arms.
In this game, okay, so in 2016, it was just arms and a little bit of chest. In this game, he has a full third-person model, like that's fully animated with all the guns and everything. But if you do the wall climbing thing in
His
third
body shrinks
person,
down.
Well, even
no, the body doesn't shrink; his arms grow.
even in
Now I'm a jerk, and everyone loves me.
even in 2016 though, they had a multiplayer mode where the models were fully displayed, so they could just use that for third person. But if we were to talk about something like say Half-Life 2,
Oh god.
no, you're not.
Have you seen what happens if you do third person in Half-Life 2?
No.
It the player model is basically the equivalent of a 3D stickman with his arm out. It's just a single arm bent at the elbow, and that's it.
Ah, jeez, really? Is that what it ends up looking like? I just know it's not going to look like a regular model, because if you ever look down when you're in a vehicle or on foot or anything in Half-Life 2, there is nothing there.
The tricks
yeah.
that developers have to do for first person is really fun a lot of the time. Like, I know for Metroid Prime, what they have to do is the camera, like the HUD for Samus isn't just elements on the screen. The HUD for Samus is a physical object that they have like a foot away from the camera. And so when you're walking around, the HUD is just like sliding over the map, and it's hilarious.
I mean, what a lot of games did back in the day was they had the camera box on a stick that was on top of either a ball or a box, depending on how they wanted the control to be, and that was your character.
Boy. So yeah, modding in third person is a crapshoot and depends mostly upon how the game is programmed. But yeah, the main reason I dislike not being able to get a third person camera in these games though is because you gave me a frickin' character creator. Come on. And now I'm not going to see my character for the entire 200 hours I'm playing this thing?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
I mean, come on. I spent like an hour lovingly crafting this OC of mine and imagining up a backstory, and now all I get to see is the right hand. No. What a jip, you know? But, yeah, it's a little strange. Like in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, they do have these sort of climbing sequences where you briefly see your character, and of course your character will appear in cutscenes. So it's a little bit less annoying than, say, Outer Worlds, where, you know, the only time you see your character is in the menu screen for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, that Revenant just decided to die.
I should pick that game back up. I played a little bit of it when it was on Xbox Game Pass.
They either are adding or did add a DLC pack, didn't they?
They announced it. I don't know if it's out, but it might be.
You want to know something that I'm actually very grateful for? Games these days are releasing their DLC much later than they used to. Like, for example, many games, and I feel like this wasn't that long ago, like maybe 3 to 5 years ago, it's like, okay, buy the game right now, and then 2 weeks later, it's the new DLC expansion for such.
Well...
And nowadays, you're seeing more DLC come out, like, 6 months later, which I feel is really good because it's nice going back to a game you played just a couple of months ago and seeing new stuff.
Well, I don't think Western RPG expansions ever had that particular issue simply because the DLC.
Yeah, no, not
takes too long
Western
to make.
RPG, not Western RPGs. This is more of a action AAA game issue.
You're not. Yeah, It's a lot easier to just put together a 2-hour little action sequence in that amount of time, I suppose.
Marauder and Slayergate. Marauder and Slayergate.
It's him.
That did nothing.
Oh god.
That did nothing.
Oh god damn it.
He's immune to BFG.
My
eyes. Is he
actually
immune to the BFG?
No, you just have to time it really specifically.
Yeah, it's really tricky to get him with the BFG.
It looks like it's tricky to get him with anything, really.
Well, again, it's more that, again, the rules of the game have changed when he gets on the field. So it gets really awkward to try to deal with him when you have all these other guys trying to kill you.
Do you have to just wait for him to swing his axe and hit him while he's in that animation?
Yeah,
basically,
so the way that you do damage to this guy is you wait for his eyes to flash green because that means he's coming in for an axe swipe. Otherwise, he pulls up that shield, and you can only hit him on the other side of that shield, which is rarely going to happen because he's always looking at you.
Yeah.
Basically what happens is the game turns into Street Fighter footsies.
Yeah. I was watching the GDQ run of this game, and the guy did something really interesting where he lobbed a grenade over him, he turned around with his shield, and then just like
the Ganon fishing rod trick. The Ganon fishing rod trick.
Yeah.
The fuck are you? Ow!
But yeah, I don't really show it here because, again, this was like 3 days after the game came out, and we didn't really know the best way to fight him yet. The best way to have him fight the Marauder is to have the Ballista and the Super Shotgun on your swap keys. Mm-hmm. When he does the attack, you do the Super Shotgun, swap key to Ballista, and then swap back the Super Shotgun, because that effectively stops your reloading animation for the Super Shotgun.
Yeah,
so that maximizes the damage you get from between when he's swinging and you can get damage ending.
That's very specific, though. Like, stuff like having to cancel specific animations to do stuff.
Well,
like
I don't think you're intended to beat him that way, but it winds up fiddling with his programming, you know?
Sort of. So the whole thing about, like, switching to cancel out the cooldown is actually intentional.
Oh, really?
The whole deal with it is, like, alright, the Super Shotgun can only fire, like, 1 shot a second. So fire off your shot, quickly switch to something else, do a couple pot shots with some other weapon, and then by then the cooldown on the Super Shotgun is over, so switch back to that.
It's designed to force you to want to use more weapons instead of just sticking with the Super Shotgun or something.
It's rewarding you for playing more aggressively, sort of. And yeah, it's really fun if you get the hang of it, like running around swapping between all of your different weapons to take out enemies. It's fun, at least I think so. But I do agree that it does feel like something that isn't intentional. Like, it kind of feels like you're breaking the game a little bit.
So I know that this is mostly a thing that fighting games I see. Like, they intend you to do such and such move to cancel an animation and keep on going. Like, that's something that I feel like is intentional in terms of fighting games.
not initially. That was a bug in Street Fighter 2.
Oh,
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
became
But
really
modern
popular.
modern games, though, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, attack canceling dates back to way before even fighting games, because you could do shit like that for like Castlevania and all that, where you jump and attack and then you jump and then attack right before you hit the ground, and it cancels the animation so you can attack again right away.
Yeah, I remember using that a lot in Symphony of the Night in particular.
I need to play Symphony of the Night.
I have not played Symphony of the Night yet. It's one of the games that I'm interested in playing it, but I feel like me being a hipster, I'm gonna just find that I don't like it as much as some of the other ones.
Well, yeah, when you get right down to it, there are some elements of Symphony of the Night that were definitely smoothed out in games that came after. It's kind of like going back to Super Metroid when you already know how Metroid Fusion controls, you know?
Yeah, and I know John would never agree with that because he's John, but I can't stand the way Super Metroid controls now that I have.
You hear that, John? You're John.
Yeah, John. Your opinion isn't the only opinion on the internet, and I say that not because John believes that, but because some other people do. What?
Boo.
Alright, let's see.
No, we have to take the escape pod.
Yeah.
Get to the surface. I see the escape, but where the pod? Woo!
Wouldn't it have
Probably
been
one of my favorite Robot Chicken sketches.
Oh yeah, no, the Robot Chicken Star Wars special. I find it weird that whenever anything does a Star Wars episode, it's either really, really good or really, really bad. Like, I personally like the Family Guy Star Wars episode. I find it's terrible, but like the Robot Chicken Star Wars episodes are gold.
Oh, my ears.
Oh, what is this? Septerra Legacy of the Creator or something?
This
Whoa.
is where they found the noise for the THX opening sound.
I thought you said that's where they found the Noid. Like the fucking Domino's Noid. Like, yeah, he'd be perfectly at home here.
Why did you have to remind me that the Noid exists?
I mean, this is a hellscape specifically suited for him.
You haven't seen the Noid 2 with analog dabbing?
Ugh.
Excuse me?
I would rather just play a Chex Quest game modded into Doom 2016.
They made a brand new
would be-
Chex Quest.
Oh my
like, in
god,
3D.
it's so bad.
Oh wait, really?
It's so bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, the new Chex Quest game is not
I
good.
didn't know that there
I don't
was
recommend
a new
it.
Chex Quest game. When did they
I
do
remember
it?
seeing
It's
ads
free
for
to
it
play.
on Twitch, I
It's
think.
free to play on Steam,
Is it now?
and it's not good.
We should do a playthrough of it.
Dude, it has co-op.
Ooh.
Okay, Ted and Trav, you can get right on it.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
I feel like trying to make a new Chex Quest game that isn't an actual cereal box bonus, though, is missing the point.
No. It's not a cereal box bonus. It's a Chex Mix bonus.
I know, that's what I said. I said
Okay, my bad.
It's a what bonus?
Chex
It's a
Mix.
Chex
now.
Mix.
The snack.
If you buy a thing of Chex Mix, it'll have a little Chex Quest thing on it, and then on the inside it has a code that unlocks new characters.
Oh.
So the characters are DLC that you acquire through eating Chex Mix.
Didn't that happen
the-
with Final Fantasy VII? Where?
Oh my god, you're right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII had like codes on fucking Fruit by the Foot or something that unlocked things in game. Wasn't it just like items though?
Yeah, I believe
think
it was just
so.
That's so fucking weird.
It is really weird.
What are we talking about? Like the DLC accessories?
Or something. It's like you got codes for them in Butterfinger.
Oh right, yeah, those early game accessories that aren't really all that useful.
Yeah, I mean, they've done that for pre-order bonuses for forever. There's a skin in Shin Megami Tensei 5. There's a suit of armor, not 4. Sorry. In Shin Megami Tensei 4, there's a suit of armor that has the Amazon logo on it that you can get, and it's like,
What the fuck?
yes, I know, it's so bizarre, but this is something that they've been doing for a while. It's just, it was weird seeing it with Final Fantasy VII because it's such a high-profile game. You think that they wouldn't do something like that? That seems so like cheesy.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
they've been
so
doing
weird.
Not cheesy because it's Butterfinger.
They've been
so buttery.
They've been doing sponsorship deals for Final Fantasy for quite a while, but the difference there is they did eventually just release the DLC armors as a free DLC for everyone. So,
Man, I bought that Butterfinger for nothing.
I just realized this is old footage because the music's broken here.
Yep.
Because for some reason, like up until the second month of the game coming out, the music in this arena just didn't play. It's fixed now, but
I told you it was like 4 or 5 days after the game came out when I recorded this.
I remember you messaging me like, "What the fuck is this final boss?"
Yeah, I don't know if they fixed it yet, but when we play Final Fantasy VII Remake, that apartment door is still gonna look all
PS1 door, PS1 door.
Never forget. Let's see.
Also, I cut this.
Wanted to, but
also, I cut the last challenge of this map really close because there are just enough enemies to shoot with the last BFG shot of the level.
Oh man, when I was streaming my most recent Ultra Nightmare run of this game, I missed that challenge.
No.
I was so fucking sad. I can say the fuck word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
I realize I've been using it kind of often.
Dude, we don't give a fucking shit. Say whatever the fucking shit you want here on this channel.
This is a Christian BrainScratch comms.
This is my Christian BrainScratch comms.
The way we talk at random, there's no way we could ever enforce a no profanity rule on this channel.
I mean, I guess we could try if we were doing like a charity thing. I guess
it's one thing.
Well, we do also random graphical glitch there, but
yeah, what the hell?
It still counted. It just didn't do the animation properly. But no, we do try to be more conscientious of that when it's like the charity event and all that.
Oh yeah.
Also, when we're doing a live like a panel or something, just because they do have to mark that stuff.
Yeah.
But,
lame.
I mean, it's one thing to censor yourself.
We're so fake.
It's one thing to censor yourself for 20 minutes or something, but you know, for the rest of our stuff, eventually we'll just fall back on old habits. You can't stop it.
We'll see you in the next fucking part of Doom.